Testing. Okay. Dear respected teacher, dear venerable, dear all friends here and there. Thank you for being here today. Today is 31 October, the year 2029. We are in the Ocean of Peace meditation hall at the Phap Monastery. And today is a Halloween day, and that's kind of like special. This morning I came down and listened Sister Lệ Nghiêm. She guiding about walking meditation, and I saw some people they paint on their face, and I go, wow, that's so really cool. And uh, I I actually I really want to paint something on my face because kind of this is the special time. But somehow I think, how can I bend? Because kind of like okay, and I letting go. But I want to tell you a story very fun last night. Uh, Last night I and my roommate uh, spoken something about a Halloween, and he gave an idea. Is wow, maybe you need to wear something on your face and during your talk. And I said, are you sure? And I said, yeah, for sure. And I said, wow, let me see. How can I have the mask like this, you know? And then he showed me the way to find out the people can, can help print the mask I can borrow. But actually, I don't know how can I contact with the people local. And then I try to find some phone number. And then I call someone in Seattle. Yeah, that's so fun. Uh, but of course, I call someone. But and this morning, she bring to me cô Dự Dung. She she bring to me some mask, and I say, wow, thank you, because now I have the monkey mask and the pumpkin mask. That's perfect already. Uh, I grow in Vietnam, and in Vietnam we don't have Halloween. Just just couple of years ago, the young people they enjoy, but that's not really my culture. And I learned about the legend, Halloween legend, and this kind of like appear 1745. Yeah, the year, very long time ago. And I have chance to read the why there's the culture appear, and I learned like the Jack, kind of like the alcoholic, and the thief man something. And every October, 31 October, and many people they wear masks, and they, especially the children, you go from house to house and ask the candy, and they have the something is like a trick or treat, right? And I prepare some candy here, and now I'm an owner. And after talk, please come in and you can get a candy. And I have very good memory about the legend we call the Mid Autumn Festival or Moon Festival. At that time, uh, the people are very joyful with the lantern. And they make the lantern like the bamboo or the wood and the plastic and the candle inside. Very, very joyful. And the children, many children, even though the adult people, the parents, joy together. And they sing a lot of songs. And that time, I remember that time I was a very little boy, and I can say I'm very bad boy that time because I'm very want to to make something fun, and I am and I with my some friends and follow many children, but we don't hold the lanterns, and we walk behind the children, and then we go when we push the children, and they fall down, and of course the lantern burning, and we laugh a lot, but of course, you know, what is going on after? We run far away because you know because we don't want to have trouble about that. And many times like that. And wow, that's so fun. That's kind of like fun only. And I never forget about that. And also the story about the Moon Festival, kind of like similar the story with the Jack O' Lantern. And many, many years ago, and there is a fish, and she became a monster. And every full moon night, and she became a monster. She became not monster. She became a very beautiful girl because she wanted to harm the people, and that's why the king he orders the citizen or the people to make the fish Latin, and that's why many many people they enjoy. That's kind of like legend only, but I think that's a very fun story. Well, today I want to focus about my topic, and again I invite all of you here to come and take the candy after the talk, and please ask the monkey, can you have trick or treat? And what does he say? Let me see. Uh, Dear all friends, in this rain retreat, the Dharma teachers, we we focus about the Thay's books, and I'm very happy to share one of them. And today I share the book is Stepping into Freedom. Uh, I can say this book kind of like very important to me and for the monastic too, because this kind of like very basic practice, and I have chance to teach in the class with this book many years ago for the aspirant who want to become a monk, and I really interesting because this book kind of like guiding or show me the way how to be free. Like the the festival we just mentioned about. I remember maybe 20 years ago. That time, yeah, in my country, we very simple. We don't have the device. We don't have the electric. We don't have many things like now. And we very joy, with life, kind of like very outside game. I don't know how to say, like folk game, ancient game, the game very long time, and we play like exercise, and somehow we connect together very well. And now somehow we more modern, we have more stuff, everything very convenient. We can see the world in the phone, and but another page, we can see that's really really problem somehow, because that make the people not really connected, but that kind of like separate. And you can see in the family, in the parents, the children, the friends, even though the partner. We sit face to face, but somehow we lost it. We don't really focus about the other. We really love to enjoy on the phone. Maybe we talk someone. That's really, I don't know how do you feel about that, but that's real. Of course, the technique, the device, make us very easy, but somehow we don't know how to use it, and that kind of like make us a lot of problems. And in the past, when I was a child, a childhood, my generation kind of like that times very simple things. We don't have the iPad, we don't have the iPhone, we don't have many things, but we very happy. But that doesn't mean I say now we have a lot of things and we cannot happy. I don't want to say that. But how can use it? And this book we're sharing about that. This very very simple book, and they have some part in this. Um, the part one is the gathas, the poem, and I count around 99 poems. Thay and the Sangha wrote those poems about the practice, like how to walk, how to be present. That's so really, really simple. Because somehow we forgot about the present moment. And we are dreaming all the time. Normally we're thinking we will dream at night. And this morning we wake up and we think, wow, this is the real life. But when I look more deeply about that, I'm not sure. If we don't practice mindfulness, somehow now we are here, but somehow we are dreaming too. Because we don't know how to come back yourself. We can talk, we can think, we can react many, many things, but somehow we don't know very well about it. And I have experienced before when I read I read the book, and very interesting. I read, and I have really strong habit. And I read, and then I move the page, and I read, you know, for example, like this, the half a page already. But suddenly I shock and say, wow, what is going on? what is it? I just read. I lose, you know. I don't really recognize what is just read. And that's really important. And that's kind of like robo, the main meaning, you know. Sometimes I read and I walk. I do many things like exactly the robo. And that time I have promise with me means I practice mindfulness. And I have very interesting experience and today I want to show you. And at beginning I practiced a little bit hard and I read like the left third line and this is the second left and this is the third left. The first left. And then I guide in on my mind like, oh, now my finger to move the page. And then I read, and this is the third, the second, and the one, the first. To be honest, very hard at beginning. And I cannot remember what I just read too. But don't worry about that. Because normally we build the way very, very long time. Like me, that time I built my way like my habit around 30 years already. And now I just changed my way. And that's normal, you know. And in science, we call the neural pathway. We change the new way. I want to show you this fun. Cheers. For example, we have kind of like, yeah, okay, like two ways. And this is, wow. This is, do you know what it is? Yeah. You don't need to know about that because that's no meaning. In the past, sometime I like this. You know what I mean? Wow. You know already, right? Good. And this is the new way. Okay, let's look like the happy man. I have the question like when you came here in the meditation hall. But somehow if I ask you about which food or feet you you walk in the meditation first, who knows? Oh, okay, some. That's great. Because somehow we walk but we really don't know how we walk. And we talk something like this, exactly. And now, this book or our practice, our traditional, we training ourselves every step, every breathing, we come back. And when we come back the present moment, we can recognize many, many good conditions. And you know, in this book, the first part, yeah, we share about the poem, and the second, or you don't know, you don't want to know very exactly the details. But if you want to interesting, you can look later. On the last Thursday, I have the class with the long term in Solidarity Hamlet, and one brother, he asked me about how can support the sangha. That's really good question. And I remember I share about the good support. That means we need to learn, but the best way for me, I think we need to learn by observing. Because when we observe many people, that exactly the real teachers. And for me, I have the good memory about observing, and I observe the Venerable a lot. And today I want to tell you about the Venerable stories and what I have learned from him. I came here and I saw many times or all the time the Venerable always come have lunch, go have lunch very late. Because in the monastery we have lunch at 12:30, and all the time he come around 12:45. And that time I saw him, and I looked the 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 time, and I saw very late already, and he still sweep. And I came to and I asked him like, dear Venerable, I wonder like, what do you do, or are you busy at 12:30? And he said, nope. And I said, wow, but why I saw you many times, you came late. And he smiled very gentle. He said, because I am a normal monk. And I said, wow, okay, fine, you are a normal monk. And I said, well, I have idea, dear Venerable, because you are the most venerable here, and we very happy to see you can have lunch with us. As the first person to take the food. And I say, wow, because I'm the venerable, and that's why I need to come late. And wow, who is the young one? And I really shocked that answer, because I'm very young than him. And I say, wow, because as a young brother, we really, really need your teaching, like you come very early. And I say, wow, don't worry about that. And he said, he mentioned very strong, like as a venerable, as a elder, we need to practice like this. Come all the time very late. And he doesn't want to take first. And then, oh, okay, you are venerable, you are right, okay. And then I let him go, and I try my best to prepare his food. And he really understand and he accepted. And after a few months, and he came to me again, and he said, "Dear brother, I really appreciate about you to help me to, prepare food, but please allow me to take care myself." And I said, "Wow," because I'm very happy, and the young one very happy to help. But actually, I really understand him about he really don't want to bother the other. He always want to do himself only, all the time. And he said, "Okay, now I have promised with you I will go earlier." And I said, "Wow, that's good. That's good." And then tomorrow, he came the dining hall early. And that's wow, that's good, good. I'm really happy about that. And then the sound of the bell appear, and many people get a line to take food. And he walk around, and he take a cup, and he put water, and he walk around, and he drink. And then he also get a line, but the last one. And I say, "Oh man." Yeah, he keep his promise to, the next day he come earlier. And I saw him come earlier, but he always get the last person or almost last person. And I feel, wow, how can I do? And the last Sunday, after his talk, and then some people they prepare a little bit food for him because this is the last time like the special case too. And he came his room, and he make oatmeal at lunch. And I'm waiting, and I didn't see him. And I come his room and ask, "Oh, dear Venerable, do come to the dining hall and have lunch with us?" And he said, "I'm happy with oatmeal already." And I said, "Oh, okay." Many times like that. And that's really touched me. Because when I observe him, I really learn about how can practice humble. And if you guys come here for the last week, we can listen from his talk about he really, really humble. He don't want to show off. Even though 1 week he have, even though, like 7, 10 classes for a week only, because I, I stay very close with his room. But he really humble. And that's, I think I can learn a lot. One point only, like the humble. And he remind me very, very strong, like, as a elder, as a venerable, we need to go late. Because I am a normal monk. That's enough for lesson. And I feel really touched me. And I love him a lot. And I share that guy in my classes. The best way you want to support the Sangha, that doesn't mean you need the class. You need someone to teaching. You don't need. You can see many, many people around, and you can learn a lot. Well, today I would like to offer a little bit about this book, and if some of you interesting about this, you can see more, stepping into freedom. And like that path, if you want to go the same way, you can go. But for me, now I, I changed my way. Um, at least 7 years ago, and I practice very simple, like practice reading book, very simple, and take time. And I remember after maybe 3 or 4 days, and suddenly my mind very smart, because they know they try to find the new way and they accept it and they create it, the new way. That's we call the neural pathway. And suddenly now I can read, and I never guiding on my mind like this is the third, the second, or the last line, because they know very well. And I can know the meaning very, very well, and keep very long time too. And I want to offer a part, very small part for you practice when you at home. You know, the smart person, they really don't want to make very big issue or problem or promise. You can you can uh, promise with from your bed to your restroom at beginning, because the first thing we do the night, like we go to restroom, sometimes like very close, 10 steps only. And now you can promise yourself, like, I can wake up very slowly, and the way I walk down my bed, and walk very, very mindful every step. And please, if you lost some step, please come back. I know this is really hard at beginning, but please, you know, because when you invest a lot of energy, that's kind of like you want to create a new way. And when you walk and you lost some step, please come back and you walk again. Take time. You only need walk mindfulness very short, like 10 steps from your bed to the restroom only. And you repeat many, many times. It depends on you practice. Maybe after 2 days or 3 days or even the 1 year or even 1 minute, you can do it. And that suddenly, completely change the habit. And then you can walk on the way you go to work, and you can observe your body very well. That's a really small part I really want to offer you today. And I want to end my talk with the poem. Uh, and I ask my brothers, Minh An and Minh Young, will come here and sing uh, that song. That song from the poem, mindfulness poem. The mind can go in 1,000 directions, because normally, the mind go anywhere. But on this lovely path, I walk in peace. And with each step, a gentle wind blows. And with each step, a flower blooms. Okay. And maybe please invite oneself the bell, and we can listen a song before we close.
can go in 1,000 directions, but on this lovely path I walk in peace. With each step a gentle wind blows, with each step a flower blooms. You can join if you know it. The mind can go in 1,000 directions, but on this lovely path I walk in peace. With each step a gentle wind blows, with each step a flower blooms. One more time. The mind can go in 1,000 directions, but on this lovely path I walk in peace. With each step a gentle wind blows, with each step a flower